Hi, my name is Barry Carter from S&B, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about body mounts and some of our competitors in the marketplace. So basically, there's three companies, and they basically took our design and mimicked it almost exactly, down to almost every individual component was copied almost exactly. But that's only half the story. I said with silicone, it might look like rubber and it might look the same, but it doesn't always perform the same. So I wanted to kind of show you that today. We ran heat age compression set testing on all the body mounts, and at the end of this video, we'll show you the actual setup of the testing and so forth. Ryan will show you that, but I'm just going to kind of go over the results and get to the meat of the matter regarding the body mount. So with the heat age compression set test, what you're looking for is there's a jig that is a plate, and we put all four mounts on the same plate, and then we cranked it down 50%. To simulate the deflection of the body mounts on a truck. That's about what it would be. And what we did is we did that, and then we put it at 325 degrees for 3 days or 72 hours. And what the heat does is it accelerates the aging process. So you apply heat to rubber in order to see how it's going to perform, over the life of the product itself or over a given period of time. So that's real important for us. It was important when we did our testing originally. We spent over 2 years doing the testing because we knew how important it was, and that's the reason we had the comfort in saying that we give a lifetime guarantee on parts and labor. The key is labor. So not many people do that, but we did so much testing on ours, we knew it would last the lifetime of the truck and perform well. So what you do is you crank it down to 50%. Then the first thing you're going to look at is you're going to look at how much height did your body mount lose. All rubber is going to lose height in this test. And so what you want to do is lose the minimum amount of heights. So that's the first thing you're going to look at. The next thing you're going to look at is durometer. Is the durometer still strong? And then the final thing, and the most important thing in this test, because based on what the stock mounts did, you want to make sure it's not going to disintegrate on you. Okay, so here's our original mount, and here is the body mount after the test, the 3-day test. And you can see it lost about 23% of its height, but structurally it's still intact. It's strong. The durometer is about the same. It's only lost 9%, 9.8% of the durometer, and it basically still has its shape and function. Again, it's going to distort some. That's the purpose of this test. However, it held its same integrity. Bottom, there's no cracks. It's not cracking on us. It's in still good condition. It's not reverting back to its original state, uncured state. Feels good. And the durometer is, again, only 9.8% off of what it was originally. So that's our body mounts. So let's take a look at SPE, their body mounts. So this is the original body mount. You can kind of twist it a little bit. Durometer feels pretty good. And this is the SPE body mount after the testing. Again, these were all tested at the same time, same temperature, same amount of compression. This, originally, there's no way I'm going to be able to fold this thing over. It's hard. That's the original mount. Even ours after testing, I can't bend it over. It's still got a lot of its shape to it. But the SPE after testing, I can bend it over like a hot dog. In fact, if you start pressing in certain areas, you can feel that it's reverting back to its uncured state. The silicone feels very soft and like it's not even cured. And the SPE, it lost on its durometer. It lost approximately. Durometer is a hard thing to test because it varies throughout the part itself, but roughly lost 56%. Again, it's going to vary. That's not an exact science on a durometer, but about 56%. But the biggest thing is it just fell over on itself and it lost its form. Over here it's one dimension and it's another dimension over here. It didn't deform uniformly. So that's going to cause ride problems for sure. So now we're going to look at the no limit. The no limit, it's very hard. I can't twist that at all. It's got a very hard durometer. This is the original one, and here is it after the test. It compressed significantly. It compressed over 43% from its original height, which is not bad. I mean, it's not good, but it's not just horrible. But the biggest concern is the split right here. So this body mount split, so that is going to start to deform. Plus, there's hardly any flexibility on this. The durometer here, again, durometers are tough. So it varies per part. It's not going to be an exact science, but it's a hard durometer. It's in the this one's about 63 is one of the readings that we got, and this durometer is extremely hard as well. But biggest concern is it's splitting. Last but not least is the ETN, or the Beechlane body mounts. Here's the original body mount. Feels pretty good. Can't bend it. Feels decent durometer. And here's the Beechlane after the test. In fact, what you're seeing is it's disintegrating and it's reverting back to its original state. When we were taking it out of the fixture that we used to compress these down, it actually tore, and because it stuck to the fixture itself. So this is disintegrating. This is probably the most like stock that I've seen. So, I don't know how this is going to end up from a ride standpoint or longevity, but it doesn't look very good. And again, we're not here to bash competitors, but when somebody copies our design exactly and says they're the same as us, I think it's important for us to point out that they're not the same. There's a science that goes into this. Not all silicone's the same. We put 2 years of development into it, and it shows. So when somebody offers a body mount at 50% of our price, you should be wary, because you're trying to buy something. You could buy the stock system if you're going to buy a system that's going to deteriorate over time. There's no reason to buy something that is lower in price that's going to perform even worse than the stock system. So thank you. If you have any questions, note it in the comments below. And if you continue watching this video, Ryan's going to give you some background on the test itself.
Hey, it's Ryan with S&B, and today I'm here in our silicone and plastic lab at our production facility. And behind me we've got some test equipment. On the other side we've got our chemist desks and some more rubber equipment. What this allows us to do down here is be able to mix, mold, develop all new compounds, and manufacture everything under one roof. And that really allows us to push the limits on product development and quality. So when we were developing our body mount compound, this is about a 2-year process, and we lived in our lab, taking rheometer curves and taking a bunch of tensile test data. But the big thing with the body mounts came down to compression set and vibration isolation. Vibration isolation is a test where this gets put in a jig and just vibrated back and forth for a week straight. And you're going to be able to study what that degrades the rubber like. And that's super important in a body mount application where that cab's jarring all the time. The other most important test was compression set. And historically, the way you test compression set, and still to this day, is by molding a button like this with a test mold and using an ISO certified, very expensive jig that is just 2 pieces of metal. And you compress this button down 30%, put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 24 hours, release it, and then measure the change in height from before you compressed it. Now, with that silicone isolator in your truck, this is going to be compressed all the time. So this test is super important so your cab lines don't sag and your ride doesn't degrade over time. So what we've made here is a quick compression set jig for upper power stroke isolators. So what we're going to do is put our mount against all the competition that's out there now, compress all these 50% just because that's about closer to where it actually gets compressed in the truck, throw them in the oven, and get some time in there, and then we'll pull these out and show you the difference immediately on what our mount resisted that compression set like compared to the others.